Welcome, you're watching Head to Head. I'm Antonina Antosha with UATV. The Ukrainian Cabinet of Ministers has approved the national Ukraine-NATO program for this year. The document outlines plans for strategic reforms and regulates Ukraine's defense sector, as well as the transition to NATO standards. To talk more about this, we're joined in the studio today by Andriy Karakuts. He's an expert at the Center for Applied Research. Hello, and thank you for being with us today.
Hello.
So first of all, let's talk about the document, the program, the Ukraine-NATO program for this year. What are the main peculiarities that should be outlined?
This program is adopted every year, and it's named Annual National Program under auspice of Commission NATO-Ukraine. So this document is like a roadmap for Ukrainian transformation in order to become NATO member. And last year and this year, emphasis is made that this is like a plan of Ukrainian reforms. It's not like only about cooperation of Ukraine and NATO. It's about the whole process of transformation of our country and our society. And if you look at the text of this Action National Plan, you see that this time it's not like general promises to change something. It is really concentrated on real real topics, yes. And this national plan is divided into several key strategic aims and several aims according to these strategic aims. So it is a very big document. It's about 200 pages, and every page consists concrete measures in order to become closer to NATO.
Okay, we have a soundbite from Ukraine's Deputy Prime Minister, Ivana Klympush-Syntsadze. Let's listen to what she had to say about the document.
This document makes it impossible to add formalistic and unnecessary tasks and activities to it. For the first time, we are introducing efficiency indicators, indicators of performance. This will give us the opportunity to effectively move forward and get strategically closer to the North Atlantic Alliance.
How well did Ukraine do in implementing the NATO standards in the previous 2018 year?
Assessing last year action plan, we approached almost 95–96% implementation, and it is very good tendency because previous action plans they were not implemented even about 60%, 70%. And if you look at the date when this action plan was approved by Cabinet of Ministers, you see that it is January. And before that, this plan was approved, I think, in April or May. And after that, we were only several months to finish it. And this time, NATO chose another agenda. Yes, we now have reports for every quarter, not for annually, yes, but every quarter. So in late March we will have first stage, and after that we will assess really on several indicators how this action plan is implemented. So if we compare with last year plan, it also have differences. First of all, as I said, it is about aims. They are very concrete. They propose actual problems, solving actual problems, and every aim must be fulfilled and then included in the report in order to move to another aim.
Clearly, cooperation between Ukraine and NATO is brightly outlined in two dimensions. One of those is political one, and the second one is practical cooperation. Let's evaluate both of those. At which are we most successful?
If we look into political and economic dimension, it is really reforms that we need in order to join NATO and European Union. In this action plan, it's really European Union is mentioned many times. So it's like roadmap for our reforms. If we look into practical measures, it is more about reforming of our army, reforming our security services, for example, also reforms in National Guard, in intelligence. So it includes very practical steps in order to become closer to NATO standards. And this plan is very important because we are approaching the final stage of implementation of security bulletin, which was adopted in 2016. And this bulletin have very ambitious aim to become compatible with NATO standards to 2020. Yes. So this year and next year will be very important, and I'm really happy that this time we see that it's not like about reform security service of Ukraine. No, it's about very concrete steps. What branch reform, how commandership of this security service must be appointed, and so on. So it's many practical aspects, and after implementation of this action plan, we will become more ready, yes, to join NATO.
Speaking of the next couple of years in the security, presidential elections in Ukraine are looming, and here again, Deputy Prime Minister of Ukraine Ivana Klympush-Tsintsadze mentioned that Ukraine hopes for NATO's cooperation in protecting the cyberspace of the country, because clearly Russia or any other hackers are going to try to meddle in the election process, not only in Ukraine, but across Europe. But Ukraine is just the country that is about to have presidential elections very soon. So how can NATO allies help Ukraine secure the safety of the cyberspace?
Cybersecurity is also part of this plan. There is quite a big division of this plan called security, and cybersecurity. How NATO will help? First of all, it provides technical support, it provides experts and trainings for our specialists. Also, there is a special trustee fund that have possibility to fund our agencies which fight cyber threats. Yes, and several NATO countries officials already said about this potential threat from Russia to interfere in our elections. So I am sure that they will watch elections, and if something will happen, we will receive support from NATO. We also have very close cooperation with NATO Cybersecurity Center located in Estonia, and this center also provides very useful experience to our specialists.
Okay, so it looks like we're getting ready. Thank you so much for coming and explaining the whole situation.
Thank you.
That was Andriy Karakuts. He's an expert at the Center for Applied Research. Thank you so much for watching UATV. Stay tuned for the rest.